Hello, hello, YouTube. Just getting going here. Gonna bring up the screen in a sec. Let's just do it now, in fact. Ta-da! Here is the MMXFPS Project in Unreal Engine. Doing a stream today to... This is the one I promised earlier in the week. This is to... Hello, Jomalak. Update on what I've done. I've made a little progress on the Mega Man X FPS, and I'm gonna update on the progress that I've made and like plans I have for it going forward, like what I want to achieve with it and what I want it to be when it's done and things I want to include. And so this is what that's about. And it should be fun. I'm gonna play the game a bit. I'm gonna demo it for you guys. There's not like a whole lot to play yet. I'm just getting started with the enemy AI, which is actually not as hard as I thought it would be, but also not as easy as I thought it would be, if that makes sense. So, you know, that's part of game dev. There's always different challenges that come up as you go, and as you learn, as you move forward. So I'm gonna get going here. I'm making sure my stream... I got a warning that my stream bandwidth was bad, so I'm just making sure that's good real quick. And it seems okay. It doesn't seem to have recognized on YouTube that I updated my bitrate. That's boring stuff. I'm not gonna bore you guys with that. Oh, okay, it updated now. Okay, it says it's good. Cool, so it should be good. Good to go. Make sure this is good. OBS is good now. Cool. Hello, hello. I dig the raccoon emoji. Raccoons are my favorite animal. I think capybaras might be second, or maybe just dogs or something. Alright, so to just get started a little, I'll show you like a little overview of like what this is. So what this is now is different than the previous level that I had set up that has been in my other videos. I did do a short with this level in it, a little bit of it, but that other map was just to test the mechanics of Mega Man's navigation and shooting and stuff. This map is actually going to be the map that is the first stage, the intro stage. So this is the rough blockout, which in game dev is just when you start putting together the rough shapes and forms of things. Like you can see, these blocks are going to be trucks. This is going to be the road panels, and you just block it out with simple meshes that are in Unreal so that you get a sense for like how things are going to be laid out for gameplay. And then later I'll pretty everything up, and I already finished the one road piece. If you've been keeping up with my videos, you've probably already seen this one. This is a finished road piece that I did just to sort of visualize what I wanted it to look like. It's just one section. It'll be one of many different kinds, depending on, well, you'll see as I go through the level more. But you can see how this is going to replace these road sections. They're the same size, and yeah, so that's the purpose of the blockout, which is what this is. It's a rough blockout. And that's just so I can test gameplay things. And the reason for that is so that I don't implement a bunch of assets and then I decide I need to change it for gameplay purposes later, like to make the gameplay better. And then I'm like, but I already made all these cool assets. I don't want to change anything. It's the same principle as like thumbnailing when you're making art and stuff. You start rough so that nothing's precious and you're not afraid to change it. So this is just rough right now, but it's laying out kind of what the level will be like. So that's cool. Oh right, I gotta pay attention to my chat too. Sorry, y'all. So many works. Yes, Dreamlock. Indeed. So yeah, so this is I'm gonna do a flyover and just do a basic thing, and then I'll do a demo where I just play through it as Mega Man over here. And these are some of the enemies. The only one I've implemented so far is this dude. I forgot his name. Yeah, I'm not gonna remember. So yeah, it's just this guy who is this just spinning wheel dude, and he's pretty simple. That's why I implemented him first, and even his implementation is rough, but you know, just starting with enemy AI, so I'm learning how all that stuff works. But yeah, so I'll do a quick flyover and show you like the layout of the level. So this part of the level is the beginning of the intro stage where Mega Man first comes down, just like in the SNES game, and it's just gonna start moving this way, and then there'll be like maybe a secret thing up here that you can find if you choose to climb. But to continue the level, you'll just go down this way. There's all these trucks and cars that are going to be laid around and ruined because of the Mavericks doing damage to the things. And then over here there's like this fallen broken road section where like you're gonna have to jump across, or no, yeah, I think I did make it so that you have to try out your jumping stuff. I'm trying to follow kind of the same principles of teaching the game as the SNES did. That was kind of one of my goals for the project. So yeah, you're gonna jump across. This one's too far, so you'll have to, you know, use your wall jump to get up as you fall, and then you'll go up here, and then we'll move through down here, and this section is going to lead up to this platform here, which is sort of like an arena platform. I made it wider for that purpose, and this is where you're going to fight the first big B mini boss, you know, from the intro stage, those guys. I've already started 3D modeling those guys. I streamed it a little while ago. You can probably catch that in my archives, but he's not finished yet. But yeah, so after you fight him here, just like in the SNES game, this platform will fall, and it'll, woo, I hate this, the exposure does weird things because of the way the lighting's set up right now with post-processing. I have a fix for that, but right now I'm showing, so I can't really do it right now. But once I start playing, it won't do that. But yeah, so, and then you're gonna have to climb up this area, this wall here, similar to the SNES game, and go through this tunnel. And I'm thinking for this wall, we'll have some flying enemies that come down and attack you while you're climbing the wall, so that you get a sense of like what it's like to fight while climbing up a wall, because that'll be good. That sounds fun to me. And then you'll go through the tunnel, of course, and come out this side. And this is where you'll fight more enemies, just like in the SNES game. And I think this is the area where I'm going to have those dudes who, if I can figure out how to make this work, who will like, you know, what do you call it? They'll push down they're kind of like those wrecking ball, spiky wrecking ball things, and they'll push their wrecking ball down and knock out parts of the floor. Those guys. So those guys will be here, and they'll be knocking out parts of the floor as you continue on. We go up here. This is all fighting enemies and bad guys and stuff. And this is the second arena where you'll fight the second B. And this is a little different than the SNES game, but so you'll fight the second B here, the B mini boss, and his little rolling robo dudes with the long legs, all that good stuff. Damn, this stupid... Alright, hang on, let me fix this. Okay, so I'm just gonna blow out the exposure for a minute so we can see. I don't know why it does that. Anyway, so you're gonna fight those guys here, second B, and then this door is gonna open, and then you're gonna go up this platform, and there'll be more fighting here, and then down here is where you'll meet those dudes who you shoot the cars, and you'll ride on cars, Dramalok, absolutely. Yeah, riding on cars. I love that video. But yeah, so this is where those guys will be. So there's a lot of enemies I gotta make and program and model, and it's a lot of stuff. This is why, you know, this is a long-term project, but it's gonna be fun, and it's gonna teach me everything I need to learn about Unreal so I can make my own game. And it's already starting to teach me a ton. Obviously, I've never done anything before this, really. I've done little test projects, but nothing like this. So anyway, then we're gonna go down here, continue riding on cars for a little bit till we get to here, and this is the final arena area, where of course Storm Eagle's ship will fly over and drop down Vile. And then you'll have to fight Vile in this area, this big arena area, and eventually, of course, you will be saved by Zero. And Zero will also be in this if all goes well. I gotta model Zero, I haven't even started that, so. But yeah, and Vile, and the mech suit and everything, so it's a lot of work, a lot of stuff to be done, but it'll be fun, it'll be cool, and yeah, that's kind of the idea. I have big ideas for this. Like, I also want to have an intro cutscene where like X will be in some sort of orbiting satellite thing, and he'll be in his little pod, and then they'll get the call, and you know, Mavericks, whatever, and he'll come down and beam down and hit the floor, and it'll be super cool. And there might even be some talking, if I can figure that out, find someone to do voices. But yeah, and then whatchamacallit as well, I've been considering, see, one of the problems with the translation to 3D is that you aren't just moving forward anymore. You might want to move around. You might want to move back and forth and side to side with your dash. And so I'm considering doing like a 3D dash instead of just the forward dash as it's set up now. Since the translation to 3D, I think it would be a reasonable change to make the game more fun, so that you can dash in all directions, back, left and right, and forward. And that might make the gameplay a lot more fun. So I'm considering that. And if I do that, I think it'll be cool to like have a capsule hidden somewhere in the level that you have to find it. So like maybe it'll be like down over here or something if you climb down somewhere, and then there'll be like a Dr. Light capsule, and he'll give you some cool new leg armor that lets you move in 3D. So you'll get the leg armor in this stage early on to get the 3D move gear. Definitely not, that's from Attack on Titan, the 3D dash gear. But yeah, so I'm thinking about that. Again, it's pretty ambitious, it's a lot of stuff, but I think that'll be cool, so should be. So I'm excited. It'll be cool to work on this, continue working on this, but it is going to be slow going. I'm not going to promise it's going to be done super soon or anything, because it won't. It's definitely on the back burner, and I'm super busy right now. So I'm working on it here and there, but I am still working on it, and I'll play a demo of it real quick so you guys can get a sense of the movement on this new level. I'll play through to the end so y'all can see that. And yeah, so just wanted to update everybody who's interested, and you can get a sense for what it's going to be when it is done. Dremelux says, that's awesome. I try to make 3D and barely make something that looks human. So thanks to that, I know how much work you make. It's awesome. Thanks, Dremelux. If you're just starting with 3D, one thing you could do to make it a little easier on yourself is to definitely not start with people. People are like the hardest thing to make look real. Because the reason for that is because we're all people, obviously, and you look at people and you're so familiar with people. You look at them so much, and from the time you're born, that you're very, very familiar with human faces and human physiology. So anything about a person that looks off is going to look really obviously off. Whereas if you model even animals or, you know, machined things, you know, buildings, factory parts, they're simpler to begin with, but also mistakes are more forgivable to our eyes because we're not as tuned into that. But yeah, humans are super tough. You got to learn anatomy, you got to study skulls and faces and all kinds of stuff, but it's a cool goal to strive for sure. Yeah. But okay, I'll start playing some demo here so y'all can see. Hopefully you dig it. Oh, I forgot, I gotta do the contrast thing. Yeah, it's just something with the post-processing where it doesn't quite work unless you make an adjustment for it. So I'll go over this real quick. So this is just some of the models, doing some idle animations. His eyes aren't glowing yet, but they should be. And there's that dude. These dudes, you can shoot them. And I get the false thing in the corner that says I'm hitting something. So that's like debugging stuff. Here's the little old Mega Man models well at the head that I made while I was starting that are just showing some of the animations. And I'll move on to, there's the dude, one of the dudes who is just, see, I broke him. He's not ready to wander after he catches me yet. So with the enemy AI, I'm going to restart this, that I have so far. If he doesn't see you, he'll just wander around in a pattern. See, he's wandering. Wander. And then once he sees you, he'll chase you. And so that's very basic enemy AI. And that's more or less all you need for this particular enemy. But, you know, animations need to be tidied up and different things. You got stuck again. That's okay. I don't care. Anyway, so here's that platform again. Whoa. Someone driving crazy outside. Here's that platform again, showing some of this, how it's going to be lit, how it's going to look in this level with this purple sky, which is kind of a cool thing I never really noticed from the SNES game until I started making this, that the sky is all purple and weird. It's pretty cool looking, very moody. So yeah, this is kind of what the platforms will look like when they're all implemented and done, as opposed to these gray boxes. And yeah, so this guy will chase me. That's already implemented. And you can shoot him, and if he takes enough shots, he'll go down and then die. So that needs to be perfected, but that's the most basic level of enemy AI that I've got done so far, and it's not bad. It wasn't too hard to figure that out, so I'm optimistic that I'll be able to do cooler things soon with the enemies. But yeah, so you're gonna move through this part, and you know, maybe I could put the capsule up here even pretty early in the level, and if you know, you know, and you'll just be able to find it somewhere over here, maybe like over yonder, and that'll give you the 3D dash gear, armor, whatever, upgrade, and then you'll be able to go down and continue. You gotta hop over platforms, and there'll be enemies all along the way, you know, use your imagination, and you'll climb everything and get over stuff, and then you'll be like, oh no, here's this place I've got to jump and stuff, and then you gotta jump. And so you'll get the hang of jumping from this area and using your wall jump as well, because you gotta do it here to get past this part. And you'll keep on dashing through, charging your buster, shooting the bad guys, bad bots, mavericks, more enemies here. We'll have better lighting, but this doesn't look too bad for now. And then once you get to here, this, like I said before, this is going to be the area where you fight the first B-boss, mini-boss. And once you beat him, I've already got it tuned in here in a basic way. It'll fall down like this, just like in the SNES game, and then you'll have to climb up here. And this is where I think I want to have enemies coming down the wall at you, some flying enemies, so you have to like learn how to fight on the wall. And you might grasp it for a second to get your breath, or maybe some enemies will come out here too and you'll have to address that. Something to demonstrate all that gameplay stuff, that you can grab the wall with your back, slide down, and that you can fight while you're going up, all that stuff. Whoa, and hopefully not fall. I'm not very good at my own game yet. It's just starting. It's okay. I'll get better. So yeah, you'll be fighting all the way while you're climbing up here. And then this is the tunnel you'll head through briefly. There might be enemies in here too. I might do maybe some bats, some of those bats that give you an extra life or something. And then come down here. Maybe there'll be some enemies waiting for you and you'll have to take them out before you jump. And then you'll head down, head through here. And this is where you will fight those enemies that knock out parts of the street. And so you'll have to be fighting them while also not falling into the holes that they're creating. As long as I can figure out how to do that. We'll see how that goes. But I'm optimistic. And then you'll head up here. This is this collapsed truck that you'll use to get up here. And then this is the area that leads to the arena, where you'll fight the second B-boss, mini-boss. And so you'll take him out here, blast him. And once you do blast him, and he goes down, this one won't collapse. This will be different than the game. This will just be a door that opens and lets you through. And then there'll probably be some dudes up here waiting for you. And then you'll pass through here, more dudes, to the end of the level. And this is all just gray box right now, so I will improve this and make the gameplay better as I go. But this is just the basic rough outline of the stage, so you know, changes are totally possible, and I'm willing to take suggestions too if you have ideas, so feel free to comment those if you have them. And so then here is where you'll jump down, and this is where you'll be riding on cars and doing all that stuff. Yes, Dramalok, once you beat him, beat him. Head down here, car guys, bang bang bang, car guys, bang bang, riding on cars, jumping on cars, bang bang bang. Yeah, you know, all that good stuff. And then go over here, a couple more of them, dropping down from Storm Eagle's ship. At this point will come in, it's probably once you jump down there, and then you'll get over to here, and this is where Storm Eagle's ship will be overhead, and he'll drop Vile down on you. And then this arena is where you'll fight Vile. You'll shoot him, he'll shoot you, you'll try not to get caught in his laser gate thingy, whatever it is. and he'll beat you because he's better at this point, of course. And then that's where Zero will ultimately come and save you, and that'll be awesome. And cut Vile's mech arm off, all that good stuff. So I think it'll be cool. There's a couple cut potentials for little cutscenes in there, and cool stuff like that. And I also mentioned earlier, for people just tuning in, I do want to do an intro cutscene where Mega Man just is like in an orbital satellite or something, and he beams down, gets the call, and he beams down, all that good stuff. I think that'll be cool. So yeah. Soonamix says the mech suit Vile fight would be awesome as an FPS. I agree. I think it'll be super fun, and that's one of the reasons why I was thinking about, see, I can kind of dash side to side right now, but not exactly side to side, and I can't dash backwards. So I'm thinking I will imbue Mega Man with a 3D dash, so you can dash forward, backward, left, and right as well. And that'll make the fight, it'll give you more, what would you call it, agility during fights. You can kind of circle around guys and like do stuff like that, especially Vile, trying to dodge his beam catchy things, whatever those are called. So I think, and I'll make that a little pickup, a little capsule, or not a pickup, what do you call it, a capsule armor upgrade with Dr. Light and all that cool stuff. So pretty high ambitions for this. I'm only planning so far on making the first intro stage. We'll see how it goes after that, but that alone is going to take quite some time, so I'm not going to, you know, sugarcoat it. It's definitely going to take time, and I'm not working on this full-time or anything. It's definitely a side project, but, you know, I mean, if people funded it and, like, you know, I don't want to chill the thing, because I don't even have my Patreon fully set up. It's there, but no one's on it. So, I mean, if people really caught on to the project as I continue to upgrade it, once it looks cooler and stuff, maybe I could work on it more if I didn't have to worry about where else money was coming from. But no promises, and I have no idea whether or not that would ever happen, so, you know, that's a big if. But other than that, it'll just be slow going, and it'll get done when it gets done, and you're free to follow along for every step of the way that you want to tune into. So I'll run through the level again and just talk and take questions if anyone has any, or if anyone missed anything, anyone who just came in. Feels weird with the FF7 music. But I like the FF7 music. I still need to find, I think GameChops might have some Mega Man music that YouTube won't strike with copyright, but I'm not sure yet. But I should probably be using that for this stream, but I had this ready to go, so it's just there. Woo! And this is why I put this platform here for debugging, so that if I fall, it doesn't just die, but I gotta restart it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, see, 3D move gear, if I could dash side to side more easily, would be much better. I keep saying 3D move gear because of Attack on Titan. The 3D dash would be good. Yeah, because you'll be able to dash side to side, and that's pretty essential, I think, for if this is going to be an FPS in 3D. It made sense for the 2D Mega Man to only dash forward, because, you know, he pretty much only needed to go forward and backward, side to side, so. But, yeah, I think 3D will be better. Or I guess it wouldn't be 3D, it would just be... Would that be 3D? Because it's just front and back and then left and right, so that's 2D, but I don't know, whatever. I'm overcomplicating it. But yeah, he'll be able to move left and right as well, with the dash and backwards. And that'll help you circle enemies and stuff like that. I think that'll be good. Jump, jump, jump. Woo! I could give... I don't want to stray too far from Mega Man X and get into stuff that Mega Man had in X2 and stuff. I want this to be kind of a pure X thing, but an air dash would also be really useful for like when you, like what just happened there, like when I got too far from the thing to wall jump. If I could air dash towards it again, that would be super handy, so I'll consider things like that as well. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Fall down with the B. Head up. I wonder if Capcom is planning any new Mega Man games of their own to make. Because I know the creator left, and I don't know if they're going to do any new stuff with Mega Man. I know they've done some remakes, and they also did that Mega Man 9, was it? The new Mega Man, original Mega Man game. That was sort of a nod to the old ones. But outside of remakes and stuff, I don't see them really doing anything with it. So it's kind of a bummer. Hopefully they do. It'd be cool to see some new Mega Man stuff. Sound effects will come in eventually. For now, I'll do them. Sorry about that, but it's the only way for now. And I really like the Buster Charge. I'll probably tune it to make it a little better. I think it could be faster for the FPS. I think right now it's pretty much in league with the timing of the game, but the SNES game. But I think it would be good to be a bit faster, probably, just because it's FPS, and I want it to be a fast-paced, fun, action-y game. And I'm also thinking it'll probably need like some kind of locking on system, but I'm sort of wondering about that. It might be more fun without one, but I'll have to do tests and see what feels right for this. So we'll see how that goes. And then I also have it's already set up, I think. Yeah, where like when you look down, his arms stop moving down. So I want to make it so that this readout actually shows your health and your weapon energy. So that was my idea there. I kind of got that idea from, there's a lot of games that kind of do that, but I got the idea from, what is it? The name escapes me. Dead Space. I really liked that in Dead Space, how it's on his back. I always thought that was cool. So yeah, I kind of want to do that, so you just look down and then you're like, oh shit, that's how low it is. Or maybe it'll go the other way, I'm not sure. But you can kind of see it even when it's up, or when it's shooting. You can definitely see it, so I think that'll be cool as well. Dramalock says, the next Mega Man, you will fight with vampires and werewolf in a village. That would be a strange that's like a Mega Man Resident Evil crossover or something. That would be interesting. Or maybe Mega Man and what's that other one? Castlevania. Yeah, crossover. That would make a little more sense. Ah, no! Alright, restart. Sunamix says, with 3D platforming, you could get pretty creative with mobility upgrades, even something like a grapple hook. But yeah, some MMX Puritans might frown at it. Yeah, and I kind of get that too, because like, I don't want to change it. Oh shit, I'm getting attacked. I don't want to change it more than is necessary. If it makes sense to adjust something for 3D, I will adjust. And oh, that's a glitch. That's fun. Oh, at least it's stopped. But yeah, that'll make sense. Like the 3D movement thing, I think makes total sense, because if you think about it, even in the SNES game, you technically can dash backwards. He just doesn't face backwards, because when you move backwards, he just turns around. So, but in 3D, it's harder to, I mean, you can do that, but it's not as simple. So it would make sense to be able to like dash backwards and still be able to shoot forwards. And then dash side to side, of course. You can only dash kind of at an angle right now. It still kind of works, but yeah, I just haven't done that yet. Set that up. So, but yeah, I think that will be a much needed improvement to make the combat very fun and to give you a little more control. Because without that, combat might be kind of janky. So it would be difficult to fight if you can only dash forward and there's no dodge. There's no other dodge. So. Mega Man horror game, yeah. That would be interesting. You know, Mega Man 0 sort of had a horror vibe to it. I wouldn't say horror elements, but it had a horror vibe to it, sort of. It was definitely kind of dark and post-apocalyptic and interesting. I really liked those games as a kid. I was like a teenager when they came out, I think. But as an adult, I tried to play the collection that they released on the Switch. My god, it's so hard. Those are some of the hardest platforming games I've ever... I don't remember them being so difficult, but my god, they're difficult. Yeah, I gave up. I didn't even play through the first one all the way. But as a kid, I beat all the way through... I think the second or third one? Was there a third one? I definitely beat the first two. Mega Man Zero games. But yeah, as an adult, I was like, whoa, I don't have time to get good at this again. This is crazy. But they're still really cool looking. It's such a different art style, so I know some people don't like it, but I thought it was pretty sick when I was a kid. So I like that rough kind of look, and the big, fun kind of rounded shapes and things are interesting. And his saber looked sick. I really like that, and the other weapons you can get. Is that glitch again? Yeah, those games were pretty fun. I didn't like all those re-releases of the original Mega Man X. Those kind of Mega Man Extreme was okay, the Game Boy one, and then there was like a mobile one that sort of was more than just X, I guess, the original, but it did other things, and I feel like a lot of them kind of lost the plot. They sort of made the game either too complicated or just too different from what it actually started off as. It'd be nice if they did a more like shot-for-shot kind of remake, I think, of X, just with modern graphics or something, which is kind of what I'm doing, but mine's different because I'm making it an FPS, so not exactly what I'm doing. But if they just kept it still a platformer, but just made it look cooler. Not that it didn't look cool, it looked awesome, especially for the time, but, you know, with modern graphics and stuff, that'd be pretty sick. I'd play it anyway, I'd buy it. It'd be worth playing, for sure. Just gonna keep running through and jabbering, you know, so more people can potentially tune in and see. And this stream will also be up the replay will also be up for anyone who wants to look at it in the future or remember stupid things that I said for some reason. I don't know why you would if you're already watching it, but just for the record, it'll be there. I archive all my streams, unless I have some reason not to, which I don't think I've ever had. I think one got taken down for music once, which is why I'm so careful about what music I use, and I usually just use the same music over and over again. But yeah. Oh, and tomorrow, I will probably do another art stream. I'm still working on that Cyberpunk poster. I'm also working on a little short comic, so if I might stream some of that too. That might be fun. We'll see. But yeah, so I'll be doing that tomorrow, or depending on, I might even be able to do it later tonight, depending on how much I get done this evening. But we'll see about that. But at least by tomorrow, I'll do another stream, little art stream. And for anyone who just tuned in, this is where you'll fight the second bee. I'm just showing, this is going to be the rough intro stage to Mega Man X that I'm roughing out for the 3D, the FPS, and, you know, he can charge, he can dash, he can do stuff, other things, he can jump shoot, man. He can slide down walls, he can do all the stuff he did in the original. And he'll fight the second B guy here, and then this door will open. This is a little different than the original. And then he'll go to the Riding on Cars area, fight Vile, get saved by Zero, all that good stuff. Repeating myself now for the new viewers. I was gonna say newbies. And there you'll ride in cars, and there you'll fight bye. And the Storm Eagle ship, which is gonna be super fun to model all that. Since I'm not a big vehicle guy, that'll be loads of fun. But, you know, it's cool. It's whatever. I don't even want to model the cars. I think I'm just going to buy sci-fi cars that look right. I found some that look pretty close to, like, Mega Man cars, but I don't know. Because there's just so much stuff to model already, and the cars aren't, like, you know, the most important thing. I did some concept art for the cars already, so I knew what my idea was to make them look just like the SNES game, but, you know, there's a lot on my plate for this project to do, so I might not be able to do all that. We'll see. Oh, you got blasted, son. And the trucks. Yeah, I did find some that look pretty, I wouldn't say close to what they look like in the SNES game, but they at least look, they fit the sense of it, because I am going to model the buildings and the exterior. All of the little set pieces, I'll either have them as models or pre-renders for the really far in the distance ones, but all that stuff will be there. It'll all be cleaned up and pretty. This is just, you know, the beginning of the intro stage setup. Thanks for tuning in, by the way, guys. I appreciate any support at all, and everyone who watches. It's super cool. I'm always amazed, you know. It's cool to live in such a time that like people can tune in from anywhere in the world if you're doing something they think is interesting and just check it out. I think that's the coolest thing. That's why I really want to keep streaming on YouTube. I just think that's awesome, and I watch so many creators that I appreciate and I dig their streams, so I feel like if I live in this era when this exists, it would be a waste to not use it, you know. So I'm trying to get it all going, but I just want to make stuff. I don't want to, like, you know, have to deal with the headache of learning how all the streaming stuff works and promoting and you know, all that nonsense. But it's worthwhile if it works out to something good in the end. So, and of course, I also feel like if you're making stuff like art or games, you know, it's pointless to make things and not show it to people. I mean, the whole point is to, like, for other people to enjoy it and experience it as well. So, I mean, you can't make stuff just for yourself, like, that you just never show anyone. So, this is the best way for me to do that. So, I'm learning all the streaming stuff just to accommodate that desire to get it out there and let people see it. Hopefully, I'll be able to release the game itself. I think I will, as long as I let it be free and make it clear that it's fan-made and I don't own anything. I think I'll be able to give it to people for free as a download, and that should be good, but I'll have to make sure before, but that's way down the line anyway when it's finished. Or I guess I could give it out along the way, just when it's, you know, a little more developed than this, so people can check it out and I can get feedback on what might need to be changed or what people would like to see different. I had one person or maybe a couple people comment that the blasts look very slow, and in Mega Man the blasts are fast. I actually took very careful time to make sure these blasts are going almost exactly as fast as they were in the SNES game, like pretty much the same. Because if you dash in the SNES game, you kind of do travel along with the blasts. Like, I noticed that in Armored Armadillo's level, when you're on the minecart thing, whatever it is, and when you shoot, you catch up to the blasts because the minecart's so much faster than you. And then if you dash, you follow pretty closely behind the blast. They are faster than you, but they're not that much faster than you. So they are about the same speed as they were in the SNES game, but they might not be totally wrong in that it might be better if it's an FPS for them to be a little bit faster, because I do notice it takes some time to actually, you know, get to their target. So I know what they're talking about. It feels a bit floaty, but yeah, I'll have to see. I'll try faster shots and see how it feels, and if it feels better for the gameplay, I'll probably do that. So, again, I'm open to suggestions, but, you know, some people are just like, this is totally wrong, and it's like, well, it's accurate, but yeah, it might be better to do it a different way. So, at least that is. Maybe some other things aren't accurate that I haven't noticed yet, but for the most part, it's pretty close. I took careful time to make sure everything kind of felt like it did, as far as the stuff I've got done with the movement and everything and the shooting. Whee! Bang. Bang, bang, bang. Bang, 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 bang. I missed. See, that doesn't feel too bad, but that guy's pretty close and he's moving kind of slow. I'll probably make him move faster ultimately. But yeah, even during this little tiny simple combat scenario where, like, I'm looking at this guy, I really want to be able to dash to the side more easily. So the 3D dash, I think, will be super nice. And it'll help you avoid falling off the platform and stuff, because I'll be able to navigate better. Turn on a dime in any direction, that would be good. What? Whee! I got a standing desk recently, for anyone who has ever thought about that and works at your desk a lot. It is so nice. I'm so glad I did it because it is so much better. And it's one of the cool ones that goes from like standing to sitting when you press a button. So if I do get tired, I can sit down again. But when you sit all the time, it's so bad for you in so many different ways. And like your back, I had back pain for so long and so many back problems. And I think it was all from sitting because now I mostly stand. And it's not really been an issue in a long time. So I think, you know, it's good to go from sitting for a little while and then go to standing if you get tired and stuff. That's totally fine, but man, it makes a difference for anyone who's old like me and worried about stuff like that. I definitely don't regret getting this thing. It's so much nicer to be able to do that. It's so much better for my back. It's good for your health in general too, because a lot of different health problems come from sitting too much apparently, not just back pain. Even when I play games on my computer, I stand now. Not just working. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all my ideas that I have for the stream. So, I mean, for the game so far, though, as far as like what I talked about. So, I want to have that capsule that'll give you the 3D movement dash. I want to give. I definitely want to have Zero and Bile at the end and make the whole level, not just part of it or something, or skip stuff. I want to have all the enemies that I mentioned, the enemies that break parts of the floor, all that good stuff. The Bee-Blader, crashing down and breaking the street and making you fall and all that stuff after you beat him. All that stuff. Health pickups, obviously. Energy pick. Oh, well, I guess you won't have any different attacks. Maybe just for fun, after the game is done, I'll add in some of the attacks that are in the original game, like at least the tornado. That was one of my favorite ones, just so you can try it out in 3D in an FPS, even though you wouldn't actually have it at this stage. Just to see how that'll work and everything. That'll be fun. But I definitely have to do that after everything else is done. I'm not gonna do that before I actually finish it, because if I just add cool stuff to it, and I'll never finish. Yeah, gotta be disciplined in that way. But yeah, I want to do that. Let me think if there's anything else. I don't think I'll do any energy tanks or heart tanks for the intro stage. Doesn't seem necessary, but definitely health pickups. And probably the capsule with Dr. Light to give you the 3D gear, bosses, all that good stuff, the mini bosses rather, all that good stuff. And of course the little enemies that the bees drop will be in there too. I have them at the beginning in their idle pose right here, or one of them anyway. It's already good. And if you watch the channel, you'll probably already seen me working on them and their animations and stuff, so you know that already. And these guys. So it'll have I think it'll have every enemy that's in the intro stage. The only exception is maybe those little hornet looking things that drop the little explosives. I might skip those just to skip one thing, because I'm already gonna have the other dudes who bump into you and the other dudes who break the floor with their wrecking ball things. So you know, I might cut that one just to save myself a little bit of modeling and programming. But yeah, I don't know. If people really miss that guy, I forgot he was even in the intro stage, honestly. So if people really miss it, maybe I'll put him in, but I'm not planning on it right now. So that's the only thing I'm leaving out that I can think of. And yeah, I already have that idea of like what these street sections are gonna look like. I showed earlier this thing, so yeah, it's gonna be good. I'm enjoying working on it so far. I don't have it set up so that the charge blasts actually do anything yet, so you can it just pushes them to the side. It's really funny looking, but the little blasts do the damage. Okay, so I see what that glitch is now. It's because if you hit them too fast, it for some reason is activating multiple. I think it's activating multiple of the spark effects. I'm not sure. It must be something like that, but I'll be able to mess that up. Oh, and for anyone still tuned in, you know what? I'll do something fun. And well, I don't know how fun it'll be, but it will be fun if you're interested in game dev, I guess. But bang bang. And this stream is archived for anyone who's tuning in, so that you can watch it. It will be archived when it's done, so you can always watch from the beginning and check out all the things I mentioned. I'm talking about stuff I planned for this game and stuff I've done so far, and like this is the intro stage rough outline. This is all white boxed in, or gray boxed in, whatever you call it, just to show like what the gameplay will be like. But yeah, I'll do something that I haven't done yet so far. And I'll just show, let me see, how do I find it? Good question. Where would that be? Blueprints? Yeah. So this is I think it's this one? Probably. No, it's not that one. Or is it this one? No, it's not this one. This was the one I started with and I changed it. It's this one, I think. Yeah. So this is how it works. If you look at this is the programming in Blueprint in Unreal Engine, what it looks like, and this is a mess, and I haven't fixed it yet, and I kept saying I was going to organize it. Some of it's organized, like I started off organizing it as I went, but then when I needed to debug things and try things, I just went nuts and just like started putting stuff all over the place. But yeah, so this kind of shows like this is how the projectile charge works. It's you know, and there's different variables and different things that go into this, and this is the logic that actually makes the game work. So it kind of looks like what I imagine the inside of my brain looks like. That was a dumb thing to say. Sorry, I'm a little bit cringy sometimes. But yeah, this is what is this? Wall slide. Oh, okay, so this is the wall slide, and I set up a gate so that it wouldn't do it twice or something, and then this is how it affects the pitch in the yeah, so it's a whole thing of using these nodes. If you've ever used RPG Maker, it's kind of it's kind of like that, but it's like it has these boxes that are called nodes instead of just the text buttons that you press on, but it's the same concept of just like, instead of you having to type out manually like, you know, whatever this command would be in a programming language to like create a branch, like it would be like parentheses if parentheses something or other, whatever, if you're writing out in some programming language. Instead, it just gives you this little box that says branch, and then if the mouse input goes horizontal, then branch, or it's checking for that, and then if it's false, it does nothing, or no, if it's false, I don't know why false is true. I don't know how that, there must be a reason for that. Well, anyway, the idea is that if you press something on the controller, it checks for that, and if it's true, it does something. If it's false, it does nothing, or vice versa if you need to change it, I guess. And then there's conditions like if wall rotation delay, which is a variable I set up for something else, and these are all the variables that I have in this. So yeah, it's crazy looking. If you do Blueprint in Unreal, you already know what this is, but I just thought it'd be fun to show for anyone who's interested. It's just so unorganized, but I know what everything is, and no one else is working on this. So, but yeah, I did start off with the intention to be organized. You can see sprint duration, sprint and conditions, mouse inputs, jump, all this stuff, movement inputs. I just, when you're debugging and stuff, you just make a mess, and then I just never cleaned it up because I just wanted to keep making more progress. So, but someday I'll probably maybe organize this. We'll see. Dremelok says, yeah, I think I understand that. I don't understand anything. Yeah, well, I'm not explaining it super well. Don't blame yourself. That looks like my bedroom when I say it's clean. Yeah. I was like that when I was a teenager. I definitely had a very messy room. I sometimes still have a messy room depending on how busy I am. So, there's that. But yeah, it's a mess, but it works. You can't argue with that. It works. Oh, this part in particular is like, oh, it's such a nightmare to look at. But yeah, that's funny. I just thought I'd show that. And also, this is just how Mega Man moves and shoots. That's all that this is. So there's other things like this for everything else too, like for the enemies and for the stages, things that need to be set up on like moving parts and anything like that. So yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, it does remind me a lot of RPG Maker. and there's the camera set up. I still have him in with his head not there, this model of him. I just haven't swapped it out yet, but I think I did for a while before I changed it to Unreal Engine 5 from 4, but then I lost it in the process, or it wasn't working, so I just switched back, and I have to figure out how to do that again, but with the actual head in there that casts a shadow but doesn't get in the way of the camera. You can do it a lot of different ways, but you can change the textures and stuff. So. And there's another camera in there for, I think, when he's on the wall, because the camera needed to flip around or something. I don't remember what it was, but anyway, like I said, it works. So can't be too upset that it's messy. If it works, it works, it works. I heard someone say that about game dev once, like, yeah, things are sometimes held together by like spit and like band-aids, but at the end of the day, you don't need to have super beautiful code or super organized process as long as it works and everyone understands it and who's working on it and all that stuff. So it is good, obviously, to be organized, and I do want to be organized, especially if I work with people on things in the future. I know that's important, but at the end of the day, you don't need super pretty code or impressive organization to make a game. You just need to make something that will work. So that might have been Toby Fox who made Undertale. I'm not sure who said that. I might have misattributed him. Cameraman X, yes, Dramalok. That's a good one. That's a good dad joke. Dr. Light wouldn't make the brain of X. Oh, that's pretty much what Dr. Light would be doing, I guess. Although way more complicated. X is supposed to be the first free-thinking AI, basically. He's supposed to like be a AI that has feelings or something. That's like kind of the idea, right? Something like that. So it's crazy. But yeah, I'm probably gonna hop off now. If you have any last questions or comments or anything, feel free. But yeah, I pretty much talked about everything that I wanted to for the update and for my plans going forward. And I'm hyped that there's still people checking it out, and hopefully there will be more too. And I'm having lots of fun working on this, so it's a cool thing. And I am eventually gonna make my own game as well. That was kind of the point of this when I started out, was just to learn enough Unreal Engine to then swap over to my own game that I could make. But then I started like wanting to do more on this, so we'll see. And I also don't know enough to make my own game yet, so I gotta keep working on this for that too. So, but yeah, I hope you guys dug it. Hope it was fun. Dramalok has no questions, so we can end the stream. No need to continue. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Good to see you, Dramalok. And I hope you dig what's going on so far. And I'm very optimistic for how it'll turn out. I think it'll be cool. So, thanks again. Thanks for watching the stream. I am gonna stream probably tomorrow, maybe later again tonight if I have time, but it'll be an art stream. Just me working on the Cyberpunk poster more, or maybe working on a comic thing that I'm working on. But yeah, it'll either be tonight or tomorrow, but more likely tomorrow. So if you guys want to tune in for that, feel free as well. And yeah, thanks again. Goodbye, Dramalok, and everyone who might see it. Thanks for watching.